Hello beautiful people, welcome to the channel. Reverend Debbie here, hope you're doing well. Today's video, are the Tate brothers tax evaders? Now I want you to think back to a certain mafia boss, Al Capone, who was arrested for tax evasion. And that was the only way that the American government could catch Capone out. And it may well be one of the ways that the Tates are going to be caught out. So at the moment he is under house arrest in Romania, as we know, and he has a court case coming up. You can see some of that information in my other videos. I'm not going to get into the detail here because I want to focus on this article that I found. But here in the UK, we don't like tax evaders. So a case is being brought against them. So this is on top of all the other charges. And it also, on top of the 4 girls that have managed to get an extradition treaty for Tate to come back to the UK after Romania finished with them, so that they can hopefully prosecute them on the SA charges here. So, the article from the BBC, dated the 8th of July 2024, Tate brothers accused of being serial tax evaders. And I'm reading it from the article. It's written by Callum May and George Wright, and it's from the BBC News. Controversial social media personality Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan have been accused of failing to pay any tax on 21 million of revenue from their online businesses. Devon and Cornwall Police is bringing a civil claim against the brothers and a third person referred to only as Jay. So I don't know who this Jay is. They are accused of paying no tax in any country on their online business, the revenue from their online business between 2014 and 2022. Got a lot of money to pay out. This is why they are frantically trying to do the Bitcoin, Daddy Coin thing and all the other rubbish that they've got going on at the moment. So guys, try to avoid giving your money to them, because all it's going to go to is governments or their lawyers. The force is seeking to recover around 2.8 million in 7 frozen bank accounts, an application the 3 defendants are contesting. So there are 3 frozen bank accounts here in the UK, so they can't access that money. Why would the government have frozen those bank accounts? Excuse me. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are serial tax and VAT evaders. Sarah Clark, Casey, that's King's Counsel. It used to be QC, Casey, King's Counsel. They are basically the British version of lawyers. For Devon and Cornwall Police, so she's the Casey for Devon and Cornwall Police, told Westminster Magistrates Court on Monday. They in particular, Andrew Tate, are brazen about it. Miss Clark quoted from a video posted online by Andrew Tate in which he said, "When I lived in England, I refused to pay tax." Another out. He outs himself constantly. The man is an imbecile. He's a buffoon. Who says those things? You know, HMRC is going to try and recover that money. Believe me, they are. I once forgot to click on the send button on my tax return and got a message for like £100 fine that I had to pay. And that would go up by £100 every day. Luckily, the person I spoke to on the phone could see that I'd actually done the return and just forgotten to hit the button. So thank goodness my honesty was, you know, taken into account, and I'd never ever been late on any tax returns in the past. And I kept all of my accounts as well. Very good girl. So Miss Clark said the money from various products sold on websites including OnlyFans had been washed around a huge number of UK bank accounts. As well as owning extensive land, property and vehicles in Romania, the Tates had spent their earnings on fast cars and property, Ms. Clark said. That's what tax evasion looks like. That's what money laundering looks like, she told the courts. The brothers are accused of paying just under 12 million into an account in Jay's name and opening a second account in her name, even though she had no role in their business, the court heard. Now, a lot of people will do that because here in the UK, they can monitor your bank accounts if they need to. And if you have a certain amount of money in that and you've got no record of how you've earned it, they will ask you how you've earned it, where that money has come from. Devon and Cornwall Police alleges that this was fraud by false misrepresentation. Miss Clark said all three would not provide any evidence in the case. Money from the brothers' businesses, including Cobra Tate, Hustlers University and War Room, was paid into the first account held with payment service provider Stripe. It was opened in February 2019 in Jay's name with an incorrect date of birth, the court heard. Fraud. Driving licenses belonging to both Tate and Jay were later submitted to Stripe as proof of identity and address. The majority of payments out of this account went to one of Andrew Tate's accounts, the court heard. Jay also moved money through her own Revolut bank account, including one payment of £805,000, the court heard. Of this, £495,000 was paid to Andrew Tate and £75,000 to an account in Jay's name that was later converted to cryptocurrency, it is alleged. The proceedings are civil, which uses a lower standard of proof than criminal cases. So, in a criminal case, there has to be really solid evidence in order to take that to court. But if it is a private case, a civil case, that evidence isn't as necessary. So, for example, if I decided I was going to put a civil case against somebody for physical abuse, SA, and so on against me, I could do that myself. But if I was to try and take it through the courts, they would need evidence. Chief Magistrate Paul Goldspring will decide on the balance of probabilities whether what the police claim is true. The case was adjourned until Tuesday. Andrew Tate is a self-described misogynist and was previously banned from social media platforms for expressing misogynistic views. Of course, since Baby Musk has reinstated Twitter and reinstated Tate onto Twitter. Of course, that's all, gone away now. In a separate case in Romania, the Tate brothers, former kickboxers who are dual UK-US nationals, are accused of exploiting women via an adult content business, which prosecutors allege operated as a criminal group. 2 female Romanian associates were also named alongside the brothers in an indictment published in June last year, and 7 alleged victims were identified. Andrew Tate has repeatedly claimed Romanian prosecutors have no evidence against him and there is a conspiracy to silence him. If there was no evidence, why are the lawyers trying to throw out that evidence? The internet personalities are also wanted in the UK over alleged SA, which they deny. So, this is yet another case against them, a criminal case. How can people who follow him believe that he's innocent? He turns around and says, oh, it's the Matrix that's after him, the Matrix that's after me. He is the Matrix. He has got you all tied into his little Matrix. His real world is not the real world. His war room is not a war room. He's just messing with your heads. That's all he's doing. He's messing with your heads. He wants to be famous. He wants to be the alpha male. He does not care about any of you who buy into his businesses. He really doesn't. He's only interested in himself. And I can tell you now that if it came between him and Tristan, I'm pretty sure that Andrew would drop Tristan like a hot potato. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, pop them into the comment section below. Hope to see you next time. Blessed be.